Thank you for listening to the Tattness podcast on the Tattness Co. Network.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, a Mercedes kind of sentiment, luxury and trust in me to honor the free we all should be. It sees my sundial burst into yin and yang, right and left, me and...
What's up, you guys? Welcome to the Tattness podcast. Before we get started with today's show, I just want to say my condolences to the family of Joey Jordison. What a terrible loss. Way too young in my view. And now I just found out we've also lost Dusty Hill from ZZ Top, who passed away in his sleep. So my condolences to everyone on that side of things too, his family, friends, and whatnot. Such a terrible loss, man. So my condolences to everyone involved. Today, my guest is none other than the beautiful and talented Mira Morningstar, returning again to put up with my ass because she just can't seem to get enough of that. Sucker for punishment, right? So we talk about a lot of things, man, about the movie industry, working together in movies, and everything else in between, all the crazy rumors that get started about you when you reach a certain level of fame and shit that gets just nuts, and just working together on a lot of things in general. We get into the Masters of the Universe reboot as well. I don't know what you guys have heard about it, but I've heard mixed things. I hear a lot of people are bagging it, so we'll see how it turns out. I haven't watched it yet, so we're probably a little harsh on the show about it, but I do reserve judgment until I've seen it, so we're going to watch it together at some point and see what we think of it. So, anyways, let's jump into it, man. I've babbled enough. Mira Morningstar returns. All right. Now that's... Yeah, I don't know why it does that now, but whatever. So, anyways, first order of business. Now that we talked fucking so much off air that so much time has passed, I probably forgot everything that we were going to talk about on the fucking show. That's fine. So, there's that. But, first and foremost, calm down now. I know you want me, but you're going to have to control yourself on there, okay? I'm kidding.
I'll try my hardest.
I'm teasing. For people that don't know, I assure you I'm not just a narcissistic fuck. I'm joking because you've been slated for at least 2 so far fucking roles in movies with me, and in Splatterhouse you're going to be my fiance, my character's fiance, whatever. So you're movie wifey. So I get to tease you like that now, and nobody can say shit. So that's why I have fun with you like that. And so before people think I'm just that fucking egotistical and some kind of narcissist, I'm just taking the piss, man. How the fuck are you though? Besides, hyper on stupid amounts of coffee, like,
I'm great. Hyper, a bit too hot in my attic, but I'm really, really well. How are you?
I'm not sweating like, a fucking piece of rotisserie gold. It's a little cooler for me. But this is what I do to you all the time. I fucking have you go to your attic and swelter and fucking heat just to talk to my stupid ass. So, it is what it is, I guess. You're a trooper for doing that. I appreciate it.
I love it, all of it, so it's fine.
You're a sweetheart. I gotta tell you though, we didn't talk about this off air, and there's, I want to save something for the fucking show. We kind of agreed to watch the new He-Man show together one day. And I started to hear things about it, and I was like, oh no. It's not, it sounds like it's fucking terrible. So the more I looked into it, I was like, God damn, I think I'd rather watch fucking paint dry, like, Jesus Christ. And then I thought, well, with you, I would watch paint dry with you, no problem. And then I read about the show, and I was like, could we maybe watch that instead? Can we watch paint dry instead? It just sounds like so fucking full on agenda. Apparently He-Man dies off in the first show. He's killed off, and then it all becomes about Teela, and she's like fucking raging lesbian, and like
No.
and it's a whole thing where it's so virtue signaling and whatever. It's not sincere or genuine. Like, I don't give a fuck who's a lesbian, who's fucking whatever, but it just seems like it's by design, trying to be all like, you know, I'm sorry, but you know, people are kind of right when they say we have She-Ra, bro. Why can't He-Man have his goddamn show? Why do we have to make this like some feminist agenda? Like, Kevin Smith fucking dropped the ball. And, you know, I hate to hear that because I really respected him. And I still do, but let's just say I don't have any judgment right now on him at the moment until I know more. But the general vibe is that he sold out to suck the money dick. And
Hello.
I got cattail in my face. Fuck off now. Everyone has to have their 2 cents, apparently, even cats. So, anyways, it just seemed like everything about it is so like agenda driven, and then to find out that at one point Kevin Smith even said he was never a He-Man fan. So then what the fuck?
What?
You know what I mean? So, and people are like, oh, you know, he went all fucking Hollywood and shit. And I know before people say a fucking thing. Yes, okay, I get it. Like, you know, technically, I guess I would be considered Hollywood too because I do movies and whatever. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about a person in terms of selling out for money, not what they do for a living. You know what I mean? I will never go fucking Hollywood like that and sell out to suck the money dick and just do shit that I don't really agree with. To me, that's stupid and disingenuous. And it's getting a lot of backlash. And, you know, there's some arguments for it where people are like, well, it's not called He-Man, motherfucker. It's, you know, it's Masters of the Universe, therefore it's everybody's fucking story. Yeah, except it's focusing around like one character. And I get that, you know, what a lot of people might not get is, in this industry, is that it does have several companies involved that have the rights to the character. One company has, like, Universal has the rights to the show now. You know, whereas Mattel has the rights to the character and whatever. So, like, you're going through a lot of different channels to get rights. So therefore you kind of have to do it different than the original show. I get that. But this just seems like they're beating you over the head with virtue signaling fucking agenda, trying to be, like, you know, politically correct for certain, I guess, for lack of a better term, I would say they're purposely doing it to try to please the majority that are now, everything has to be politically correct. Everything's offensive. So we have to cater to certain demographics. And it just feels like it has nothing to do with the actual origins of the show and any of the story that the show ever went by, which to hardcore fans is really extremely important, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. You obviously didn't hear none of that.
I didn't look into it because firstly, I didn't want to see it at all. I was one of those, you know, like, I know the original, that's what I fell in love with, and I'm loyal to that. I don't want He-Man to be any different. I don't like it. You know, like, He-Man was my first crush when I was a kid. I used to carry him around in my handbag. Used to carry him everywhere and wear my mum's lipstick. Like, I don't know, I was like 5 or whatever. So, you know, I took that seriously. Like, He-Man meant a lot to me. So when I heard that there's a new series coming out, my first reaction was like, I'm not going to watch it because I don't want the old stories ruined for me. But then I thought, maybe I shouldn't be so judgmental. You know, it might be great. Like, sometimes it's good to just to just look at new things. You know, work goes into it and everything. But I haven't looked it up at all. Like I haven't looked up anything about it. I just thought maybe we should watch it, but
Yeah.
maybe not. I don't know.
Honestly, I just heard about it today, and I kind of went down the rabbit hole a little bit at like 6 a.m. And you know, what else do you do at 6 a.m. besides, you know, watch stupid videos and read comments, and you know, most people sleep, I guess, and you know, whatever. But because we had talked about it, I was like, oh, this is becoming a thing where people are really upset about it. And just for the record, I also, as a kid, really didn't want to go anywhere without my He-Man toy, but I didn't like him like you did. So not like that, man. Not my thing. But you know, but you know, I was in love with the cartoon. Absolutely. I had the vinyl records with the fucking books that came with it and whatever. Really cool. But this new one, fuck me, it sounds like a fucking train wreck. And to be fair to those listening that fucking love it or whatever, that trust me, I'm aware. Yes, He-Man gets killed off in the first show, but also to be fair, I get it. It's, you know, right now, first season is all about Teela and whatever. But yeah, I understand He-Man's coming back, and it's a whole story arc thing that they're going to do for season 2 and whatever, try to milk as many seasons out of it as they can and give some backstory as to why he deserves to be fucking He-Man and blah, 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 blah. It just sounds really fucking cringe to me, though. You know, it just sounds like they're finding every little like demographic that they can that's currently, you know, has a cause going on and trying to pander to it insincerely, not actually caring about what they're dealing with and trying to achieve. It's just, you know what I mean? It feels like they're just pandering to them, like that'll make them happy. You know, it's so insincere and disingenuous, I feel. It just feels very like different than the original, where the original had lessons at the end of it, you know, for kids to learn or whatever. But this is more like political agenda, I think, rather than let's be cool to everybody and don't do drugs and whatever. It's everything's cool to be, you know, this type of person and, you know, whatever. And fuck men, you know, let's make this about a woman that can be manly herself. And okay, what? Everyone's referring to her as Butch Teela, you know, saying she's like a fucking dude and she's now apparently a lesbian or whatever. I don't know. But that's what I'm hearing from comments and shit. And they're focusing on the fact that she's like a lesbian now. And it's like, why is that necessary for a cartoon? I don't get it. Why does it matter, you know, who she is involved with in any way? Why did the cartoon become about sexual shit? I don't get it. You know what I mean?
That's really strange. I'm quite shocked, you know, now that you said that. This is why I wasn't really interested in watching a remake, because I don't like it when old ideas and stories get taken and then just changed and butchered, because the people who loved and appreciated to begin with, they're no longer catered for, and everything that you loved has now changed. You know, it's just, they did that with King's Quest, with the games that I loved so much. Like the new King's Quest is completely different to the old, and so I never ended up playing it. And it's, you know, fair enough if they want to show women as strong and everything. I'm all for that. But I never got the vibe that Masters of the Universe was misogynistic in any way. I mean, we have She-Ra, we have all these other warriors, you know, everyone seemed to be pretty strong and tough and cool themselves. So I didn't really see the need for the story to change. And, you know, it was great the way it was before. And maybe I'm just like set in my ways, you know, I can be like that with things that I love. Like, I don't want them to change. I agree.
I love a style. I completely agree, because as a little boy, I was a huge She-Ra fan too. It had nothing to do with a gender, issue. It had nothing to do with, well, I'm a boy, so I gotta like He-Man and fuck She-Ra, right? Like I liked that show too, just as much. I watched both. I had the toys of both. They were both equal to me. They were both badasses in my view. I never fucking viewed one as like inferior to the other. So why is that becoming a fucking issue now? I don't get it. They're making an issue where there shouldn't be one.
Exactly.
I think as kids in the 80s, especially, we're a little more discerning in our points of view. I don't think we viewed everything as, well, I'm a boy, so I have to like this and I have to hate that. And, well, you're a girl, so you can't like He-Man. You got to like She-Ra and bullshit. We never labeled everything like that.
No, we never did.
Yeah, even in the 90s, like when they came out with like a live action Ninja Turtles show, they brought in a new turtle that was a female, and I fucking hated it. And it wasn't because it was a female. It's because of all the cartoon characters and shit that you could have brought in as another character. You went with a new one that just didn't fit. You're trying to change it too much. There's so many characters you could have brought in from the cartoon and made that a thing. You know what I mean? Whether it's female, male, don't matter. But you're creating a new one that just didn't fit. And even the creators of Ninja Turtles hated it. They don't even acknowledge that as, and of course when I'm on the fucking air, I gotta deal with that goddamn noise. The struggle. Hopefully everyone's all right. But yeah, the creators don't even acknowledge that as part of the fucking story. They really despise it apparently. So yeah, it's funny to me. I mean, I asked Kevin Smith to come on the show, and I stand by that, even though now in light of everything, I'm like, oh, this is shit. Maybe my opinion might have changed a little bit. His reaction to fans' criticism was just dreadful.
No, I think once you have, once something has gained momentum and fans, and Masters of the Universe has obviously been around for a long time, you really have to cater to those people. I mean, what's the point otherwise? I get it, maybe they're trying to reel in new generations or something, but I mean, really, the people who really appreciate it, they're not going to get much fun out of it if you change the storyline, and especially now if you kill off He-Man. Fuck's sake.
Right.
Yeah, not killing off He-Man. It's too sad. It's shocking.
And it's just so weird to me. It's like, why are we focusing and being so centric on Teela's relationship status and sexuality? It
never mattered before.
No. So what's next? Is like Panther gonna fucking have booty calls with Cringer, and like we're gonna see that too.
Maybe she's gonna have an OnlyFans. I don't know, or Cringer.
Yeah, or go fucks another wizard or something like.
Orko's OnlyFans. Oh dear.
Yeah, what is under that fucking shirt though? I mean, he's got no face.
Everyone wants to know.
Right, he's got no face. What the fuck's under the rest of it? He's just eyes, bro.
Well, that derailed really quickly. Yeah. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have had that coffee. I told you.
No, it's. I love it. That's how it should be. It's the show that is the fucking problem. We have no words for this mess, and we haven't even watched it yet. I'm still open to. Or we can just watch the original and be like, fuck that dumpster fire.
Yeah, well, maybe as a comparison, we could watch the first episode. We probably don't want to watch more since He-Man dies anyway. Watch him die and then go back to the past and watch the rest. I don't know, like the originals.
Right. I need your opinion on this. I thought maybe I should get Dolph Lundgren on the show just to have him on the show for an hour apologizing for the He-Man movie. I'm not sure he'd go for that, but I feel like it's owed to us. It's so terrible.
Well, I think before you make any hasty decisions, let's just watch it first,
Okay, well, the
so we
movie.
can form an actual opinion and not just like, I
We,
know.
we both saw the movie though. And we know that was the drizzling shits.
Oh
So
my God,
I
that
think,
yeah.
I think Dolph Lundgren owes us an apology for the movie. Kevin Smith will deal with him later once we see this fucking dumpster fire and decide it's not worth putting out. We'll have him apologize too. I can almost hear both of them telling me to go fuck myself right now, and well deserved, I'm sure. But I'm sure neither give two squirts of piss about my opinion, and that's fair. I don't blame them, but you know, it is what it is. That He-Man movie was fucking awful, even for the '80s standards. That was just, you know, just fucking terrible. Like,
Dude, I remember watching it and I just thought, this isn't the same at all. Like,
No.
they don't, I don't know. And He-Man, I didn't like the whole character. You
right.
know, I was totally in love with the cartoon character, but I just couldn't get into it. I thought it was weird, and I think Orko was missing, wasn't he? Where was Orko?
Yeah, Orko wasn't in it. He-Man didn't even have his Quaker Oats guy hair that fucking, you know, I thought he'd show up looking like he was trying to sell me granola bars, but short hair, weird fucking clothing. Skeletor looked badass as fuck, but other than that, I mean, you know.
Yeah, Skeletor was cool, but I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. But like I said, once I'm in love with something, I get so loyal and hung up over it. And sometimes I have to remind myself to be a bit more open-minded because something else could be cool. That's why I thought maybe I should be a grown-up now and just give the new the new version a chance. But now that you told me that He-Man dies, I'm really not so sure.
Yeah.
I'm quite bitter, actually.
I mean, we could watch it together and just make fun of it and just be sarcastic assholes the whole time. I mean, that's fine. And people are probably like, what the fuck do you guys plan to do this kind of shit? We've already watched Grandma's Boy together. I popped that fucking stoner cherry for you. You hadn't seen Grandma's Boy before. And I'm like, how the fuck do you enjoy smoking certain fucking, you know, levels of the old jazz cabbage and fucking you've never seen Grandma's Boy?
Oh, it was brilliant.
I always have to
that.
fix that.
That toy car, that car, that was amazing. Like,
That was the
wow. I'm kind of jealous. I wouldn't even want it, but I don't know. I just want to see it.
I just want to see it. In other words, you want it, and you would probably fit in it too. You're so tiny.
I'd fit in it, but I don't think I'd want it. It doesn't really go with my unicorn den, you know? Like, what's a fucking car doing in here? Like, no, it's... I've got my own little magical realm here. It doesn't really work.
But if you get a Ferrari or something version of it, I mean, you can just draw a horn on the fucking horse and, you know, there's a unicorn.
Oh, unicorn bed. That would be sweet.
Right? I mean, you're so tiny, you'd fit in the trunk of the fucking car bed.
Good. I'm quite foldable, so yeah.
How revealing.
Oh dear, not like that. I mean, I'm flexible. I do yoga and stuff.
She thinks she's helping matters.
And now you're derailing it.
That's what I do. So we talk a lot. Like, we talk every fucking day. And we talk a lot about our fans. And I've told you some pretty fucking crazy experiences and you've seen some shit on the internet. So you know.
Oh yeah.
Things get really weird. So it made me wonder, And you don't have to like be specific or anything, or fucking answer this at all if you don't want to. I don't want to put you on the spot, but have you had like any weird scenarios where you go on the fucking internet and find out things about yourself you never knew? Because I'm learning new shit about me every day I didn't fucking know, and I live my own life, and you know, I've seen
Right.
stuff on the internet that I'm like, oh, word, I did all that, huh? Like, really?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Well, no, not that I recall. I've had it in person, but not, yeah, not on the internet. Not that I recall. Might be out there. I don't know.
I get sent a lot of shit, so like I'm like, what the fuck? So sometimes it's a doozy, like it's real interesting. Where I'm like, where do people come up with this shit? For example, like, yes, I have had situations where I've been involved with somebody that, celebrity, whatever, couple times here or there, whatever, in my personal life, sure. But I don't make that shit public. You know what I mean? Like, I don't talk about that shit, and I don't mention no fucking names because it's no one's business. But then my assistant hits me up one day and was like, you tell me everything. Is there something that happened at some point that like I don't know about? I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, dude, I'm seeing like on the internet, a few people now have said that you've kind of like had some kind of physical, hookup or like relationship in some way with fucking, she said Bella Thorne. And I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck that is. And I looked at, she's like, my producer told me yesterday, like, oh, she's in that movie that you really liked on Netflix, The Babysitter. And I was like, oh, that was a good movie. I was like, oh, she was in that. I don't know who the fuck she is. How the fuck are people saying I like had some kind of like hookup with her? I don't even know who she is. No disrespect to her. But like, how the fuck do people come up with that? I've never even talked to this girl. I'm sure she's awesome, but like, and I love her work now that I am familiar with who the fuck it is, but like, I've never even been in the same room as her. Not at the same time, at least. We might have done radio shows or something at the same time, like just, an hour apart or whatever, fucking maybe same day in the same room, but not at the same time. I've never even said a word to this girl. Where the fuck do people come up with this shit that happened? So I'm like, oh, I learned something new every fucking day. Apparently I did that. I'm like, huh? That's weird to me.
Weird.
Ain't this fucked up? Because that kind of shit happens. And it's so weird to go like have somebody screenshot something on the internet that they see people trying to confirm it, and they come up with a whole backstory and logic towards why they believe it's true. And it's like, dude, if it was true, I'd fucking tell you. Like, well, I wouldn't tell you, but I mean, if it was true, then fuck it. I'm not going to dispute it.
Yeah, you'd stand by it. Right.
Right. I'm not going to go on the air and talk about it. But when it's so bizarre to be like, who the fuck started that? Like, who started that rumor? Where did that come from?
It's a really active imagination. And obviously someone likes you a lot, I guess.
It's crazy. Because it's like, if it was true, fine. And no disrespect to her at all. If anything, it's out of respect for her that I'm clarifying that is not even remotely close to true, because I've never even met this girl. She's never spoken to me. So, out of respect for her, like, fucking, I'm going out of my way to make people aware that is so not true. I don't even know who she is personally. I think she's probably awesome. I would imagine. She's a great actress. I love her work from what I've seen. But I've never even spoken to her, let alone fucking hooked up with her. So where do people come up with this? I don't know, but I'm like, I need to address that, because just out of respect, I can't let that linger. And then people think, well, he hasn't come out and said it's not true, so therefore it must be. And I really couldn't tell you.
That's really good that you're doing that. It's, I don't know, maybe it's, like this sort of whisper thing where one person says one thing, passes it on to another person, like word of mouth, and then as it travels, it changes. Maybe it's a scenario like that.
Yeah, that's probably exactly it. Because people do embellish things. Like they'll take a piece of info,
Mm.
and if it doesn't sound interesting enough, or if they think enough people have heard it before, well, I gotta contribute something new to the story, so it's interesting coming from me. So then they fabricate a little extra, and it goes through enough hands that all of a sudden, not only did you hook up with her, but you hooked up with her on the fucking top of a volcano or something stupid. Like it just gets out of hand. It's like, I've never even met this person before. And I'm not being in any way disrespectful or putting her down or nothing. Absolutely good-looking woman. I've just never met her.
No, that's really strange.
To have people suggest that ever, like, we weren't seen at a bar somewhere talking, and then people put two and two together, create, some kind of scenario outcome or whatever. Nothing. I've literally never been in the same fucking room as her.
That is super bizarre.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, of all people though, why her? Like, like I could understand if it was someone that I know personally, that people know that I've had interactions with and shit. That would make sense, because at least people could be like, well, I mean, look how they are with each other or whatever. Yeah, fine. It's probably a stretch, but sure, I get that. But like, when the fuck did you ever see the two of us in the same building at the same time? To come up with such a story, I don't get it. And it just seems like such an obscure name to kind of throw out there. I know she's done a fair amount of work, but I mean, she's not all over the tabloids and bullshit. So why just pick somebody's name? Like,
I have no idea.
It's so weird.
That's the joys of the internet. You just really never know what's out there. Some of it is probably just made up by someone, and other things, like I said before, active imagination.
It's just
I don't know.
I'm not bothered by it either. I mean, I think it's funny. I mean, there's worse fucking rumors to come up with to fabricate about me. So I don't find it that offensive. I think more for her sake, I think it's unfair. To let that linger. But imagine, okay, and you're gonna laugh at this, and that's kind of the point. But imagine fucking how it must feel. Say you go on Google one day and you're looking something up, and you see like a headline that says like, Mira Morningstar gave Stevie Wonder a hand job. Like, what the fuck? Like, for what reason did that get started? Because you do music, he does music, so therefore something happened between them. Like, who comes up with this shit?
Oh God, I know. Well, I just laugh actually. Let them think whatever they want. Like, seriously. It's not as long as there's not anything malicious.
Right.
Like, personally, I really don't care. But I know a lot of people would, so I feel sorry for her if she feels uncomfortable with all that's out there.
And that's the thing, right? That's also it too, is I don't know her. I don't know her situation. I don't know if she's involved, and that's disrespectful for, her relationship, to, if she has one, to, be having that kind of thing spreading around the internet. And I'm like, it's so nonsensical.
Right.
I don't even know who she is, dude. Like, I've never met her before. So where did that start? Thankfully it wasn't Stevie Wonder, but
no, I have no idea. Like, I don't know. I just don't get it. I never get the urge to just write up something that isn't true, or tell someone something about that. I don't know. It's just rumors. I've never really been into that. But yeah, this what's it called? Chinese whispers thing? I don't know. I forgot the English term. Is it Chinese whispers? It's called silent post in German, so I don't know what it actually is here.
I've never heard the term, so I really don't.
Have you not?
No.
Yeah, it's like a game. When I was a kid in Germany, it was called it translates to silent post. So you'd say a sentence and you whisper it into someone's ear, and then they'd whisper it into the next person, into the next person's ear, and so on. And then towards the end, you see what comes out, and there's always something completely different to the original version. So I think, I think that's probably more likely.
Yeah, for us out here in Canada, we always called it broken telephone because the intention was being told by the time you get the final person, this what was said will not be the same as what I said to the first person. It's just to prove that someone will mishear things, and rather than ask, can you say that again, they'll fabricate what they thought they heard, and somehow it gets lost in translation. So I don't know, man. I'm just grateful it wasn't poor Stevie Wonder that at least it was a female. That's nice. But well, what a bizarre thing to come up with. That I don't understand the origin of that story, but it is what it is, I guess. But just so everyone knows, that never happened. I've never even met her, but I hear she's wonderful. So can we put that to fucking rest? I have not in any way, shape, or form ever. I haven't even hooked up while watching one of her movies on Netflix, let alone hooked up with her. So can we just be done with that rumor, please? Jesus Christ, that poor girl. If she's even heard it, I don't know, but it's so weird. So I was always curious if you had some like really bizarre shit that people fucking said about you on the internet, like as if it's gospel, and you're like, what? Like, because you're successful, man. I'm sure people talk. So
yeah, well, like I said, I don't really pay attention to it because, unless, well, actually, especially not if it's something malicious like a troll or something. I don't really want to put my energy in places that I don't wish to water and grow. I just I try and put my energy into good things, and I'm by no means always perfect at this. Like nobody is, but I'm really trying to make a conscious effort. So if ever I see silly rumors, I maybe just laugh about it, but I can't recall anything. There's only stuff that happened in real life where I'm like, no, why would that happen? And but yeah, rumors about, I don't know, that my brother's my boyfriend because people don't understand that that's my brother. That kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, has she got a new boyfriend again? In town here is a small town, and they don't know who's a male friend or who's a relative, and it's quite funny. Like, I don't care. Like, let them think whatever. I think now people are used to it and they know who's my brother and who isn't, but yeah, that's all I can compare it to. I haven't actually looked online if there's any weird stuff, but
yeah, I know.
I don't get weird stories. I'll get weird emails and things. That's my thing.
Sorry, I'll stop sending them.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for taking the hint.
I do what I can. I know I don't look this shit up, but people do, and my fucking assistant loves to look up anything regarding me because she's entertained as fuck by how weirded out I get by it. Because it's like there's websites of countries that I wouldn't understand a word of any of it. So I see it, I'm just like, well, I hope it's nice. Like, I don't know what the fuck it says.
Well, one of them looked Russian to me, actually. I thought that was quite interesting. And yeah, God knows what they were talking about. Seems interesting.
Right. I've seen Russian now. I've been sent Polish, Turkish, lots of crazy shit. My personal favorite was like, they can say how much money my net worth is and whatever, and that I'm not married and whatever. Like, they know all this fucking shit, but then where it says social media handles, they have no information. That's the easiest thing to find. It's so lazy. You could probably guess my social media fucking handles and be right,
Oh, it's so weird.
It's
Or was it your height that everybody Googles all the time?
why is that a thing? It's such common knowledge. When you come from an MMA background, like they announce your height and weight and shit. Like everyone knows I'm 6'5".
Well, some people obviously want to hear it again and again. They just can't believe it.
How weird is that though? Imagine going on Google to like fucking look up something stupid. And for some reason Google suggests stuff about you that you're like, what? Like this is not what I signed up for.
So weird.
And now we're working together on a couple movies, so I can tell you right now, people are gonna start saying shit.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. It seems entertaining. Like,
I ain't mad at it. I don't care. You know, as long as you're prepared for it, it's all good.
I'm fine. I'm just so oblivious to everything, and then in my own world, I probably wouldn't notice. Like,
you know, so out of the two movies so far, because you're slated to be co-star with me for Splatterhouse and Compared to You, which is a rom-com kind of for dudes ish. And when I say that, I mean dudes know they're going to be dragged to see that. So I want it to be something that they're like, that wasn't terrible. Like, that kind of was for me in a way. You know, she digs it, but I didn't hate it. Like, it had my kind of humor in it. It was geared towards me too, you know, and that's kind of the goal is, you know what I mean? To make dudes kind of be like, I could be dragged to worse. Like, this is actually pretty cool. This is funny as fuck, you know? Like, to me, you know, I never understood the whole mentality of like, oh, I can't watch a certain type of movie because that's, you know, for fucking women or something. It's so stupid. If you feel like your sexuality is threatened by watching a certain type of movie, you probably got some fucking issues that need sorting out. But one in particular movie that was a rom-com that I thought was hysterically funny is My Best Friend's Girl. That was fucking so good. Shout out to Dane Cook. Love that dude. He's so funny in that shit. Everybody in that was really good. And it was so funny, and it was vulgar as fuck, and it was totally dude humor. Alec Baldwin was in it, and he was really funny. And he was just a real piece of work. Absolute scumbag, horn dog. You know, even at his age, he was like, I don't give a fuck. I still, you know, his character was just like that always. You know, doing the secretary, fucking checking out every woman in the bar, and just still trying to get everything he can, and just so blatant about it. He didn't even he was not apologetic about it in any way. And it was just kind of really funny. And I thought it was really well done. But at the end of it, of course, it had the kind of ending that a woman would fucking want to see in that type of movie. And it made them happy. It made dudes laugh. So like, that's how it should be. I think stuff like that's really cool. And I think that's what this is going to be. So which one in between that? And then there's Splatterhouse, where you're going to get captured by a bunch of fucking demonic creatures, and I got to go fuck shit up to save you from who knows what might happen. And it's going to be, you know, monster blood and guts and all over the goddamn place and whatever, which is total opposite. It's like a fucking dichotomy in and of itself. It's so bizarre. The two movies are so uniquely different from each other. Which one are you looking forward to more, if any? Maybe not. Maybe.
That's such a tough question. It really is, because I really look forward to both of them. Like, I like the comedy aspect, and I mean, monsters. It just sounds fun. I really can't say. You can't put me in that position, man. I love them both.
Right. You know,
I'm excited for both.
Me too, actually, and it is apples to oranges at this point.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't really say.
Yeah, so it is tough because it's like, okay, I get to fucking like destroy monsters and shit, and that's gonna be fun, and you get to do the same because you're gonna be.
I know. I'm so excited.
You're gonna be an absolute badass. That, you know, once you're not so outnumbered, you're gonna get creative, and you're gonna fucking be able to grab some weapons and make a mess and have some fun and save yourself. So there's that. And then, of course, on the other side of the coin, like you got the rom-com thing where it's going to be ridiculous humor and, it's going to be sweet in the end, of course. That's what a rom-com is. So, it's totally night and day, different, movies. And they're both going to be fun in their own respect, in my view. I'm going to have fun with both of them. So I totally understand why it's kind of hard to, maybe one day you feel a certain way about one, then the next day it's like, now I want to do that one. Fuck it. And then the next day, I kind of want to kill a monster again. That looks like fun.
Yeah.
Kind of like
No, they both sound awesome. I'm so excited and grateful, so that you've given me this opportunity. So I can't wait.
I always vouch for people that I feel deserve it, and you definitely did and do. And I don't know, there's just that connection when we met that you said your fans noticed it the second you were on my show and they heard it. And I've had people on my end that are like, yeah, it's really trippy, so I was like, okay, this fits, this makes sense. So it just feels natural to work with you. So I look forward to it. I think it's going to be probably the most fun I've had thus far. Not to knock anybody else that I've ever worked with. Shout out to Joe Castro, and being in Terror Tunes 4, being a horror movie and whatever is cool. But this is, for me, going to be like a totally different thing that it's going to be fun. And you and I just mesh. So I think it's going to feel really natural. I think we're going to annoy the shit out of people because we're going to be laughing so goddamn much that we're going to have to reshoot all the time. We're probably going to end up in so many movies together that people are sick of us, and that's fucking fine. But it is what it is, man. When you have chemistry with somebody, you just want to work with them all the time and be around them, right? So I don't know, that's my view on it. I don't know about you, but that's just, that's where I'm at with it. It's like I would gladly work with you on fucking 50 more fucking movies.
Yeah, bring it on. Sounds like fun.
There you go. She's like, as long as I'm getting fucking paid to put up with you, I don't care.
Oh, it's fun.
It's gonna be fun.
I love your ideas and everything from things that you've told me about, and it's just exciting.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a blast. I really do. I gotta, you were saying at one point, and I'm not knocking anybody, and I know you're not either. But sometimes you say you get some pretty weird fucking emails and shit from probably fans, right?
Yeah, I don't want to call them fans. Like, I prefer to call them randomers on the internet, because my fans are so incredibly sweet, and I just love them to bits. I get the sweetest emails from them, and oftentimes it's stuff like, man, your music has helped me through today, or I had a really shitty day and this and that happened to me, and I put on this song that you've written and I feel better. And I'm like, you don't even know how much you helped me back as well. It goes both ways. So anyway, no, I don't call these people fans. I've decided I think they're just randomers who sent me these weird emails. So, but yeah, it's the weirdest stuff. Sometimes it'll be pervs, and then I'm just like, okay, spam. And then other times it's just stuff like technical issues from websites that I have no control over. Like suddenly I'm tech support, and I'm like, I don't own Etsy, and I don't own Google, I don't own eBay. Like, why are you writing to me? It's just really random crap sometimes.
I got a really bizarre email today. I have to assume it's from a fan and not a randomer, but I totally understand your point. What a fucking email. Like, literally somebody took the time out of their day to send an email that just said, your voice is sexy, that is all. And then they sent it.
Oh, but that's sweet. That's just a compliment.
And I was like, this again with the goddamn voice thing. Fuck. Like,
Just embrace it.
I don't get it.
You've got an awesome voice. Just embrace it.
You're the sweetest. I don't get it. I know you've made your opinion pretty clear, before about that as well. So I appreciate you. That's sweet. I just, I don't want people to think when I say I don't get it that I'm like judging them or think that they're fucking weird or whatever. I just don't get it. I'm not that guy. I don't have this massive ego like, yeah, you're goddamn right. My voice is so fucking perfect or whatever. You know what I mean? It's nothing like that. I'm like, okay, interesting. Thanks. Like, I don't know. When it's from someone you don't know, like when it's from like you or somebody that's different, then it's like, that's sweet. Not that it's not from a stranger too, but it's just like, okay. And that's it. Like, that was the email.
No, it's just a comment.
That literally said that and then just said that is all. And then fucking sent it like they got nothing else to say.
No, that's all they wanted to say, apparently. I mean, maybe that took a lot of courage. You never know.
That is true, too. I shouldn't laugh about it just because, like I said, it's sweet. I just like, oh, okay.
It's just a random thought, because I know that sometimes, people will say something and like I don't even realize how much that took for them to say that. And yeah, and I don't. Yeah, I mean, I've had those kind of moments before as well, where I'm sure I've sent an odd email to. Nothing like that. I didn't ask people like for random help, like my computer broke, and then I write to, I don't know, Amazon or something. Nothing weird like that. I don't know. It's the coffee.
I love it. I always get you nice and caffeinated and hyper, and then I get you on the air, and we're already in like conversation mode because we've talked for like 2 hours before the show. And then you forget you're on the air and you're just like stopping things. It's perfect. I love it so much. You're going to be so much fun to work with. I look forward to that so much. So it's coming along, and we started working together so much on so much stuff because there's the video game that you're doing the music for. Because God bless you, you're such a sweetheart for doing that. You were super cool about that. And honestly, I don't know if I told you this, so I want to do it now while on the air because you deserve it. You deserve the recognition. Most people know by now I had scrapped the game idea back when my son was born in terminal condition, all that. Obviously I had other shit in mind that, on my mind that needed tending to. So I scrapped the whole thing and I just fucking wasn't doing it anymore. And then hearing your work musically actually made me want to go back and pick it back up and do it, start over completely from scratch, because I was like, just listening to your work made me think of like an RPG game that would be really cool to hear that in. And I was like, that makes me just want to work on a game again. Fuck it, I'm doing it, And then to create Madden as a character, so it kind of like immortalizes him. And then you being so sweet and giving of your time and your talent and saying, yeah, I'd totally fucking contribute music to like each map and everything. You've been such a sweetie for doing that. It meant so much. And it just kind of like sparked my interest and my creativity in like developing, maps and shit, because it was like, I don't do IT stuff. Like, I'm a complete fucking idiot when it comes to like technology, but I started to learn shit in, digital art and whatever, because anything that's art, I can kind of train my brain to learn. Even if it's like IT, if I can view it as art, I can learn. So I started developing maps by using, fucking programs and Photoshop and whatever, and designing maps. And like just listening to the stuff you come up with makes me want to create more maps and whatever. So it's kind of like I was feeding off of your work You know what I mean? And
Oh,
it just helped so much. Like, it just got me so excited about the idea again that it made me feel creative again and want to do it and not let it go to waste. So I appreciate that. And you were just so generous with your time and your talent and so enthusiastic about doing it. You never made it seem like I was bothering you or like it was a chore. You just seemed so like thrilled to do it. So that meant the world to me. And I was like, damn. So I just thought you should know that you're the reason why I picked it back up and decided I'm doing this. So
oh, that's so sweet. I'm really honored. I don't really know what to say. It's just the sweetest thing ever. And I was so floored when I saw your artwork and your maps and everything. There's just, all these talents that you have. It's just like, wow, that's amazing. And I just couldn't wait to get to work on it. And also so honored that you wanted me to be a part of something that is so close to your heart with, to do with Madden and everything. Yeah, so I just felt incredibly honored and honored and both excited because I love fantasy RPGs and yeah, I had so much fun writing those little pieces and I can't wait for more maps.
yeah, I've been slacking. Thank you so much, though. By the way, that was all very sweet of you to say, and I was just kind of floored by it. That's very sweet. Thank you so much. I'm so stoked that you like the work, and I always got excited about showing you new maps because I'm like, oh, I can't wait till she sees this. And I was like doing these painstaking like details, in especially like the winter town. I was like, I want this to feel really like cozy, and just like I was really hoping that people would look at that map and just be like, I wish I could go there. And it was the first thing my producer said when she saw it. It was like, I just want to go for a walk through there and just hang out. And I was like, that's what I wanted. So that was the coolest thing. And when I sent it to you, you were just so like stoked about it. You were so in love with it. That was really sweet. I can't wait to show it to you in like, or maybe I did, where I've got it down now where it's snowing and it changes from morning, noon, night, so it gets dark and the Christmas lights all light up brighter in the dark and you can see the windows lit up and it's just a trip. And I've started to work on the houses interiors. So, and for those that don't know, you're a character, you're a playable character in it. So there's that. With Snoo, of course. With Snoo, of course. I had to include him. That was such a win for me when I was able to like include him into your character and it worked. And I sent it off to you. I'm like, she's gonna lose her shit when she sees like he's on her shoulder everywhere she goes.
It's so cute.
I had so much fun doing that. I was so excited that I pulled that off. I was just so thrilled that you were going to be happy with that. So what you don't know yet is in the interior. I'm making in the snowy, winter town. I actually wanted to make one of the houses your character's mom's house. So when the player goes there and if they go into one of those houses, they get a little more of your backstory and you have a place to crash and rest up and save. And, I thought it'd be very cool because you get a little more story out of it and it kind of shows your history. You know what I mean? And
Wow, that's really cool.
so I thought that would be kind of cool. And then I thought, well, since we both love fall, autumn, whatever, the Halloween town is going to be very October-ish. I was going to make your character's actual house where she lives there. So that way you get to see your place and you get to live where we both love October and Halloween, right? So I thought how fitting that you should actually have a place in that map. It just makes sense. You know what I mean? So I wanted to go all out for you on that one.
Oh, that's so sweet. It's so cool. I'd love to just live in autumn.
I love it. It's one of my favorite times of the year. by the time summer's over, I'm so fucking done with the heat that I'm like, I love October because I love Halloween. How is Halloween out there for you guys?
Well, it's I don't know. I mean, there are trick-or-treaters as well, but they're usually really, really young kids. I, I don't think you really get older trick-or-treaters. I'm not sure what it's like in Canada, but and yeah, I think generally people just have a party and go drinking or something. But in Glastonbury, it's a whole different thing because here we celebrate Samhain. Don't know if you've heard of it. It's like it's a festival, the Day of the Dead kind of thing. So you honor your ancestors and you honor people who you've lost, and it's a little bit more spiritual in Glastonbury. It's not quite so quirky, spooky fun. And I just happen to like both, so I just sort of do both. I'll light a candle for everyone I've lost, and everyone in my family that I've never met before, and send them my blessings and my love, and then I dress up like a ghost or do whatever I want. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just party time for a lot of people. Other people can't wait to just go Halloween shopping. I'm in a few Halloween Facebook groups, and everyone keeps posting about this shop has got Halloween stock in now already, and it's not even August, and so there is that.
I love that you said that. In Canada, sadly, Halloween seems to be like a dying fucking thing because it's just there's not as much activity as there used to be. When I was a kid, kids were out all the time every Halloween. It's not so much anymore. It's like nobody trusts anybody anymore. So it seems to be a dying thing. But I really love that you said what you said, because I had a guest on the show, an actress from Sweden, big time actress in Sweden, Asa, who said that in Sweden, they didn't originally celebrate Halloween, but they did exactly what you're talking about, where all the cemeteries, they would be lit up with these candles. So it looked beautiful. But then eventually Halloween started to kind of make its way out there a little bit from the US. And they were a little bit reluctant and resistant to it at first because they thought it was going to start replacing that tradition of theirs, but they found a way to have both, and now they're cooler with it because it's like, the kids love Halloween, like it's more Western than what we do, but the kids love it, so why not, as long as we're not replacing what we do for the memory of people we lost and whatever. We can do both. Okay, it was just so commercial to them that they really didn't embrace it at first. When it started to make its way out there, Halloween was a little too commercial. They didn't really care for it. But once they realized it can coexist with what they always do and their traditions, then it's like, okay, it's not so bad, I guess. They don't hate it as much now as they once did. They're very resistant to it making its way out there. So that's interesting. I thought that was pretty cool. To hear that history and what they do. But I love that you also mentioned Day of the Dead, because the Halloween town, and that's just the name I call it because I don't know what the fuck else to call it. I want that to have its own story. I want it to be, I want every town to be so, have its own perspective of the main story. So they all think the world is going to fucking end if somebody doesn't do something, but they don't know who the fuck can do anything. So the Christmas town, they're like just year round, that's what they do. It's always snowing, and that they just keep their lights up, and they're all about being around family because time is almost up. Whereas in the October place, they're going to be like treating it like the Day of the Dead ish, to the point where they figure if they live year round, like every day is Day of the Dead, then maybe they can kind of reason with whatever they think it is that's ending the fucking world and make peace with, like, we're gonna go, so we want to make sure we're on the right side of things. When we're on the other side, we want to, appease whatever it is we believe, to be on the right side of that and be happy when it's over, you know what I mean, and not
Right.
screwed.
Wow.
So I want every day for them to kind of be like they're offering, some kind of gesture by living the way they do. Every day is like Day of the Dead for them, because they're trying to make peace, with what's inevitably going to happen, and hopefully be in favor of whatever it is that they choose to believe in. I'm not making it a religious thing. It's going to be very fictional, but I just thought that would be an interesting story. So it's all perspectives. Every town has a different perspective of how this ends. You know what I mean? And some are making peace with it. Some are making the best of what time they got left. Some are trying to get prepared for what's coming after it's over. And you know what I mean? Some are going to be stubborn and just like, nah, it's not happening. Others are going to be all gloom and doom, like, fuck it. We're screwed anyway. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be, everywhere you go is going to be interesting when you speak to people, because they're all going to have unique perspectives, just like life. Everybody has their own perspective of what happens when it's all said and done, right?
Right.
So I really want it to be interesting. Not everybody's all like, oh, we're so screwed, blah, 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 typical. I want everyone to kind of, some, you talk to them, you're like, oh, they're actually cool with it. They don't mind. They have so much faith in, that it's not completely over when it's over and whatever. And other people are more in the fucking here and now and just want to spend time with those that they love for every moment they got left, waiting for it. At least we go together. And then other people are going to be like, nah, something's going to stop it. It can't fucking end like that. And then other people are like, fuck it, let it end. This sucks anyway. Like, you're going to always have those different people, right?
That's so cool.
That's what I wanted to really accomplish with different towns. Not just aesthetically different, but I wanted the story to kind of have its own, perspective.
That's so cool.
I just feel it keeps it interesting, right?
Definitely. It gives it so much more depth as well. It makes it more believable and more immersive, I think.
That's
what you want.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. It's more work, sure, but that makes it worth it, because if you're going to play it, you want to fucking enjoy it, and not just everybody says the same shit. Everybody's got the same attitude, and you want it to be like, oh, okay, so everywhere I go is a little different, just like where you're at. Everywhere in the UK is different.
It is, actually. I feel it really is. I mean, definitely Glastonbury, but yeah. But then they say that with Glastonbury, I think it was called what was it? The Isle of Avalon, of course. That's what it's also called. Actually, quite officially, it's on our it's on the signs when you drive into Glastonbury. You see it when you drive through traffic. It's like, oh, Avalon. I always thought that was pretty cool. It says Avalon, Isle of Avalon in Glastonbury. But it's also called the Isle of Glass. That's where Glastonbury comes from. And they say glass because the veils between our world and the world of the dead is so thin here that communication is said to be more possible or easier or whatever. So, or sometimes even things come over that you may not want to see, or maybe a bit scary or a bit strange and peculiar. And I think that's really exciting. There have been a lot of sightings here as well around the tour. We just never really know what's going to happen here. You step out of your house and you just don't know what's going to happen. It's an adventure every day. You might meet someone who has a quirky story, or dressed as a wizard, or yeah. I could go on and on, actually.
I love the reference of the wizard. That was funny. Yeah, people don't know about that, but you showed me a picture of somebody dressed as a fucking wizard out like it was just normal.
It's so cool.
Like it was like another day at the office for them, you know, no big deal.
Yeah, totally. Because I mean, that frees me up to dress up as a unicorn or, Red Riding Hood or whatever. It's just so. I love that people in this town just do whatever they want. I've never been to a place like it before, and it's quirky, spiritual, and it's also called the heart chakra of the world because everybody just gets so loved up about this place, once they're here. So, or a lot of people anyway.
I just love my luck. You got motherfuckers running around dressed as wizards and shit. I'll come out there just my own damn normal ass self, and motherfuckers will probably look at me like I'm out of my fucking mind because I'm 6'5", and it's just my luck. It could be raining titties and I get hit with a dick. So I
really don't think anyone would bat an eyelid if you came here. I
intend to.
I know, but you know what I mean. I just don't think. Unless he came in a suit, then they'd be like, "Who's this? Like, why do we have normal people here? That's weird. Like, what do we do with them? Is he passing?"
What if I was to wear a suit but a wizard hat?
That would be cool.
That would confuse the fuck out of them. They wouldn't know how to feel.
Although maybe, but that's quirky again. So maybe that will be okay.
I just have a briefcase full of magic wands.
Oh, magic wands! You remind me of a story when I was just walking down the street here in town, and there was someone who sold magic wands on the streets, and it started raining, and out of nowhere he came up to me and he said, "Do you need a magic wand?" And I'm like, "What?" And he said, "Oh, I was just running errands." And I was like, "What? Magic wand?" And he said, "Yeah, I don't think I can sell this. Have it." And I was just given a magic wand. I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet of you." And he made them by hand. They were made of wood and they had crystal chips in there. It was really beautiful, wonderfully random. I still have this wand, and I just look at it sometimes and go, "I fucking love this town." It's just so sweet. You don't really get that anywhere else.
I would imagine not. If I was to go up to a random woman and offer her my magic wand, I'd probably get pepper sprayed. So,
well, you see, that's not really magic wand. Means something else here. It's taken pretty seriously.
Oh my god.
You just wanted to find a way to derail the conversation.
Of course I did.
I can't blame you. I think I started it earlier.
This is why we work together the way we do. This is what people have to look forward to.
I'm sorry. I apologize. My apologies in advance.
All right, let's take a pause for the cause here for a second and pay some bills and talk about our sponsors. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tattness, and whether you're a fan of my show, some of my movies, maybe you see me on TV, or my other bodies of work, either way, I appreciate it so much that I want to give back to y'all, man. I want to give you something in return for all your years of support. I want to help you trim your bush. I mean, not me personally, but like me and help from my friends. That's not making this better, is it? What I mean is, I want to give you a promo code to save money on the equipment to trim your bush. You believe me, right? Okay, moving on. Look, man, I get it. I'm just like you. There's nothing that makes me more nervous than the idea of taking some sharp objects near Stiff Willie and his backup singer's ball and scrotes. But thanks to Smooth My Balls, you don't have to worry anymore. You don't have to be sweating profusely and looking like the typical bomb diffuser from every action movie ever who forgot whether or not you cut the red or the green wire. Instead, you can grab yourself the turf chopper and you can mow that lawn with the confidence of a veteran landscaper on the back of the John Deere. We're all bros here, so I'm going to give it to you straight. The 70s are over, and with that, died the trend of the big bush. It is now 2021, and yeah, we got some trends, man, but there's a reason why Netflix and didn't quite catch on, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're dating a dental assistant, she probably doesn't want to floss on the first date, you know? So you're probably wondering, what's in it for me? Why am I being so giving to your drawing? Well, there is a mutual benefit here to both of us. You use my promo code, you get a discount, you get great products, and I get a kickback from Smooth My Balls. So basically, I get a kickback, you don't get a nick sack. You know what I'm saying? All I'm asking of you guys is to think of me the next time you give your old George W. a trim. Go to smoothmyballs.com, and whatever you order, with every order, use the promo code Tattness, all lowercase, because size doesn't matter. Don't act like nobody's reassured you of that before. Come on now. I did a promo like that once, saying that they're listening to this show, and then I'm like, we're sorry.
Are you going to do the same with this one?
You know, this is God damn. It's always something with this show, but I love it.
Well, at least we got the video working this time. The first
Right.
time around, I thought I was on video. I thought you saw me. I was trying to stay composed, and I could have just done whatever, really. I
Right.
didn't know.
That was so funny because I thought it was a choice. I thought it was a conscious decision, and I was like, that's totally okay. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want you to feel like you have to be on camera or whatever. Here you are thinking you are on camera. Probably being on your best behavior. If you fucking knew you weren't actually visible, you probably would have been flipping me off like, fuck you, buddy.
No, I would never do that.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was really funny. Because I saw my own video.
I know, and that's what happened to me when we had our little movie date thing.
I
I could see my video. I could see your camera and everything's fine, but you couldn't see me. And I was like, what the fuck is going on with this fucking thing?
It took a while.
How many times did I have to leave the fucking meeting and have you come back before everything was fine? That's my luck. Even Zoom was like, fuck that guy.
Snoo was funny though. He was laughing at us.
I love him. He's fucking great. Yeah, he made fart sounds at me and then laughed at my misfortune. Pretty cool in my books. I mean, that's a good first impression. So,
I knew you'd get along. Right.
right? Because I have the same maturity level with the bird.
We were trying to get the video to work, and he was just laughing and giggling. And I told you he's a little demon.
Yeah, he loves
Terrible.
He loves when things fuck up. That's funny. He's great. That shit made me laugh that he was just so enthusiastic about our failure.
Always. That's his default.
It's pretty great. He's like me with feathers, basically. Let's just.
Yeah, I think so. I can't really deny that.
He's just slightly more mature and highly more intelligent than I am.
I'm not sure about the mature part. I'm really not.
Well, at least we've established he's much smarter than I am.
No, I don't think so either. I think you've both got your strengths.
I'm competing with a bird. I love it. This is what my life has come down to. Only can go up from here, am I right? One can only hope.
I always say there is no comparison.
That's
It's
a
just
nice fucking way of saying.
it's true. It's just no comparison. Everyone's got their own cool stuff to bring to the table and to the world. So Snoo's got fart noises and and dancing and I don't know other crap. He's a little comedian.
I love him. I do. When he responds to me by like tapping his beak on a wall for some fucking reason,
Yeah,
I don't know what to make of that, but I assume it's all right.
it's just communication.
Just be worried when you start getting voice messages of me smashing my forehead off a wall responding to him.
Oh no.
If you don't hear from me for like weeks, it's because I'm concussed.
You know, maybe he needs to train you up first, so that you know how to do it. I don't, he's had years of practice and experience, so might be able to help you.
Right. First time I do it, I have a broken nose.
Exactly. You don't want to do that. Leave that wall alone.
Oh my God, we are gonna have so much fun on set.
Oh, I can't wait.
Me neither. It's gonna be such a blast. Yeah, there's gonna be Tom Stevens and Jamie Westwood from the Chronicles of podcast are actually gonna be in the rom-com. So they are going to. Tom is actually playing my character's like best buddy, like brother type. And Jamie will be one of your characters, like disastrous dates, because our characters are both gonna have these like really shitty dates that it's just a fucking mess. You couldn't make the shit up if you wanted to. And I just thought, how funny it would be that you go on like first date with this dude and you're like 5 minutes in and up to your table comes his wife. Like, what the fuck? And it's not the first time that she's caught him doing this either. And at this point, your character's just like, of course he's fucking married because, with my fucking current track record, it's not even shocking anymore. So both of our characters are going to have just the absolute worst experiences dating and that everyone can relate to. And there's going to be a lot of stuff that's actually from my personal experience. So it's going to be really funny because it's not made up. It's actually legit. I've come across some real fucking dumpster fires. Yeah, it's going to be funny.
Well, it sounds like you've got fuel for it. That's brilliant.
You have
you dumpster fires, so that you've got some fuel. That's good.
There was one.
I know, glass half full. I get it.
I know, that's you always. I love you for it. Try to half full your way out of this one. One story. This is legit. I swear on my life this happened in 2016. Or no, 2018. 17. Early 2017. Late 2016, early 2017. This girl, we had mutual friends, and she hits me up one day. I'm like, well, the person that we knew, I've known since I was 8. So I automatically am like, all right, if you're friends with them, then you must be all right. I don't know why they're messaging me. I don't know them, but whatever. So she's like, what are you up to? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fuck all, because my ex had just split, and, I'm living by myself, bored out of my tree, fucking still grieving, still grieving over that, and pretty fucking alone at that point and isolated. So she's like, you want to hang out today or something? And like kind of have a coffee or hang out, whatever. I'm like, sure, fuck it. It's just nice to have someone to talk to and hang out with, somebody physically being there, you know what I mean? And not texting or whatever. So I was like, right. Yeah, what the fuck? Why not? So she comes over and she gets like hammered drunk And at like 2 a.m, she's still here, like, or at that place, calling her ex's mom at 2 a.m. and threatening to sue her because he was a dickweed and this, that, and the thing. Like, she was nuts. She thought everything was like a legal matter. If you said something on social media in a comment that she didn't like, she was like threatening to call the cops or sue you or whatever. Oh. She was batshit insane.
Dramatic.
So I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, I think we're done here, dude. Like, it's time for you to get the fuck out of here because this is bananas. She then thought, like, it's my responsibility to pay for her cab. And I was like, fuck you. You're a nut. Like, you brought yourself here. You get the fuck out of here. She called the cops.
What?
And they were like, so what exactly happened? Like, did he hit you or something? She's like, no, he would never do that. Okay, then why are you calling us? Because he wants me to fucking leave his house and it's like 2 a.m. and somebody needs to give me a ride home. She thought the cops were like her personal chauffeurs.
Oh my God.
The cops showed up and were like, what exactly happened? And she was like telling them literally everything, like truthfully. So they're looking at her like she's fucking nuts.
Right.
And then they're like, so why did you fucking call us here? She's like, because somebody needs to fucking drive me home. It's your job to serve and protect and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, that's not how this works. She's like fucking like 3'4" and looks me dead in my face and says, if you fucking tell anybody this, I'm going to fucking come here and I'm going to kill you. And I laughed in her face. I was like, and the female cop was like, get your shit and let's go. And you make one more fucking threat, you're going to jail. And I'm laughing. And I'm like, I am so fucking sorry for this because she's a nut. Like, she called you like thinking you're her fucking personal like ride everywhere. And they're like, no, don't be fucking sorry. You didn't do anything. You didn't waste our time. She did. And if she fucking tries to come back here, you call us immediately. That's okay, cool. But
wow.
Like, I think I could handle it. But, you know, like, that was funny as fuck to me. So then I was like, this is going in the goddamn movie, bro. Because you can't make this shit up. And apparently the cops are like, yeah, we're familiar with her. She does this all the fucking time. Like, everything she thinks is a legal matter. You disagree with her on something, she calls the cops and thinks that you're going to be arrested, and she's a nut. So yeah, shout out to that whack job. I don't even remember her name, to be honest, but she's buckets of fucking crazy, I can tell you that.
That sounds nuts. But yeah, I mean, like I said, at least it gave you some fuel, right? You can use it. Like, without these experiences, I'm pretty sure you could still do it because you're a very creative-minded person and really talented. But you have to admit it helps.
Oh yeah, I mean, you have to laugh at it, right?
Oh, definitely.
And I thought people get a laugh out of that because somewhere some unfortunate motherfucker has had an encounter with her as well, and is gonna see this and be like, "Holy fuck, I know who that is."
Or someone like her, or you know, some guy who acts like that. Like, there are so many people who are capable of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, wow, sounds brilliant. I can't wait.
Imagine that though. Like, I was like, "Is this real life right now? Like, what the fuck is happening?" That was something. I've never in my life experienced something so fucked up, but that was definitely like a highlight.
Well, I've had things that have been kind of similar, but yeah, I had nothing. Yeah, it was just random. I had my neighbor. I never met him before, and at one point it was inevitable that I did, and I think I told you the story. I met my neighbor when I heard a noise on my rooftop and on the shed in my garden, and I just thought, what is that? It was in the middle of the night, and I get up and I look out, and there's someone jumping up and down the roof on there, and I just told them to get off my property, you know, like, fuck off my property, stop breaking my shed. And then they shouted like, oh, we're looking for firewood. And Oh, it was just so bizarre. And then after that, got death threats and all sorts of things, and it just turned out it was someone who took too many drugs, and so I know those kind of stories, but yeah, you laugh about it, right?
Yeah.
It turned out it wasn't even my neighbor. It was just someone there who had mental problems. I mean, as sorry as I feel for that person, obviously they still needed help, and what they did was not right. But I'm the sort of person, if I feel threatened, I just have to bite. So I did, and it, it escalated. It reminds me a bit of Peep Show now. The comedy. Every time I think of that, I have to think of Peep Show.
I think it's common knowledge for a lot of people at this point over the years. I think everybody's been made aware. I am absolutely in love with British accents. So it's so funny to me when people with British accents say like shit like fuck off and whatever. It still sounds so classy.
I'm glad you think so.
It's like you tell someone to fuck off as you adjust your monocle. It's just so class. When I say it, it sounds vulgar and like fucking just rude, but you say it sounds so elegant. Like, go fuck yourself. Like, yes, go fuck myself indeed.
Fuck yourself and have a crumpet. Like. That's funny. I'm not even British, so
I know, but it's like you picked up the accent a little bit there.
A high Brit.
Right,
I'm like Snoo. I just imitate a bit until I find my own thing.
Right. Jesus, it's so funny. I love it. I was like, I told you even off air, I was like, I could just listen to you talk all day. I love that fucking accent. And then you go and say shit like fuck off my property, and I'm like, that sounded so classy. Like, I just see that almost like it's in a handwritten invitation, like all fucking like calligraphy and shit. It sounds so elegant.
I'll have to do that for you now. Fuck off my property and calligraphy. I've got my own wax seal as well that I use for my CDs, so I can use that for you.
Imagine if I put that on your shirt. Fuck off my property.
Oh, that could be seen as rude again, though, couldn't it?
Right, coming from me, sure. Like, if you read it to people, they'd be like, "Oh, that sounds nice." Oh my god. I came across a picture the other day, speaking of fuck off, that I once had this like huge box that it wasn't massive, but it was a good sized box. I forget what the fuck came in it. But when I first got my first cat here, the older one, I built her a little hangout with the box. I put a roof on it and the whole fucking thing, put a sign above the door that said Fort Asshole. So that was her hangout. And because she's a cat, I put like a scarecrow on the sign that said fuck off crows.
Oh god.
And she would hang out in it, and fucking she loved that damn thing.
Oh, that's cute.
I just saw the picture of it the other day and I was like, I forgot about that. Fort Asshole was pretty dope, but
That's really cute.
And like I told you off the air too, that cat's also known as like the gray bastard. That's what I call her.
A friend of mine, he puts to-do lists next to his cats. Like they'll just pass out somewhere, sleeping, whatever they're doing, and then he puts to-do lists next to them and takes photos of them with it, like to do list of the day. It's like sleep, eat, repeat, wash bum, like lick my balls, and then sleep again. You should do that with your cats. Give them to-do lists and take pictures of them.
Oh my God. It's not often I hear a gorgeous voice, female voice no less, say lick my balls. It sounded classy but weird at the same time.
I'm just telling the story.
I know, it's just
I would never have a reason to say those words. I mean,
I would fucking hope not, because this movie's gonna get real awkward real fast.
God, I think you do need to put an apology before you air this. It's going that way.
Oh yeah, for sure. I always do. At this point, though, I think people kind of know. If you're listening to my shit, then you fucking signed your own goddamn death warrant. You made your bed, lie in it, motherfuckers. If you're listening to this by choice, then you got fucking serious problems anyways.
Oh God.
Good Lord.
My stomach hurts from laughing.
Well, that's two things now that never made it to your shirt. Fuck off my property and lick my balls.
Those are good together.
I know what you're getting for your next
Plus,
one.
lick my balls, then fuck off my property. But like, that's horrible. That's using them. That's awful. Why don't I just stay? I take it back.
Like, thanks for this service now. Fuck off.
I should not have had that coffee.
It's like a pizza delivery guy. Once you give me what I fucking want, get the fuck out of here.
The poor guy. I love all the delivery guys. They've helped us so much. So
I don't know. It's got to be a fucking rough job some days, man. But that's funny. Like, fuck out of here. Get off my property. I already know what you're getting for your next birthday now. A new shirt.
Fuck off my property.
Lick my balls and fuck off my property.
It makes so much sense. You're gonna have to put a unicorn on it as well.
Oh, of
to
course.
make it more random.
And it's gonna have the biggest nuts on it.
I'm gonna be walking around with pornography shirts.
Instead of a horn, it's just gonna have a dildo.
Oh no.
Lick my balls and fuck off my property. To be fair, though, it's gonna be the most majestic looking fucking unicorn ever. Like, it's gonna be saying that shit with absolute confidence. So.
Oh my God.
What people don't know is you already asked me once off the air, what have I gotten myself into? Well, I can see that kind of roaming through your head right now. Like, what in the sweet fuck did I get myself into?
No, actually, no. I'm just holding back. That's all. I'm just fighting the caffeine.
On an uncensored show, she's holding back.
I know. See, even on an uncensored show, I have to hold back. So that tells you a lot.
I'm intrigued. I always tease you now, and I tell you I got to be on my best behavior because now your mom's watching me. She started following me on Instagram, so I got to watch my fucking mouth now.
Oh, please don't. You might disappoint her.
You know, gotta keep up that illusion. He's a nice boy.
She saw through it from the beginning, so don't you worry.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. It was transparent as a fucking Windows.
Oh my god.
I just sincerely hope she realizes I'm not the one that said lick my balls and fuck off my property. It was all you.
Well, there's a new slogan for whatever.
Right, that's my next shirt that's being sold now.
Oh, brilliant. Is that the one I get to model?
Oh, of course, naturally. You know, that's almost like the royalties you fucking are owed at this point for every sale.
Oh, that reminds me. When I went to Germany a few years ago on holiday. I went to the shop and I saw a really cool hoodie, and it was all looked like a sailor's hoodie. It was really warm, and it was pretty cold there by the seaside. So I bought the hoodie, and when it scanned, it said, "I'll fuck your brains out." And I was like, what? What the hell does it say on that till? And it turns out that was, trust me to find this shirt, right? Or this hoodie. It was the name of the hoodie. So it scanned that way. Like this company, I've forgotten what they're called, but they had like really, really crazy names for their clothes. So that's what it was, hilarious. And that just made me think of that. I think I kept the receipt as well, because it says that on the receipt too.
God damn, hoodie, don't threaten me with a good time. Fuck.
But the hoodie was so innocent. It's just, it was just a hoodie with like anchors on it. Nothing else.
But because of what it is now, and you paid for the hoodie, is that technically prostitution?
I guess. I didn't even know.
You did pay for it, and it said what it was intending to do. Does that count as paying for prostitution?
Prostitution hoodie. But I'm only...
That's my next product, hooker hoodies.
I'm loving this brainstorm.
Right? This is like fucking a business meeting at this point.
Oh dear.
I have to tell people, because I love that you laughed at this, by the way. And then I also love that you thought I was like all paranoid and shit when I had said, because I love British people, everybody knows this. And, and the way they talk. So I said that it was record time. Your mom fucking starts following me on Instagram almost immediately after I had made a comment on your shit about being movie wifey. And I was like, and then she adds me. I knew who it was immediately just because of the name. I knew. I was like, it has to be. And then you confirmed it. And I was like, so I said to you, I was like, yeah, she saw a movie wife. He was like, movie wifey? Right, what's all this then? Now she's like investigating me. Like, this motherfucker's got some explaining to do.
Well, no, she didn't say a word, as you know. But it's still funny to blow it out of proportion.
Oh, of course. I thought that was entertaining as shit to me, because that was like the visual I got in my head of her just, what the fuck? And, British people like, right, what's all this then? And then I thought it was extra funny that once you were done dying laughing, you're like, don't worry so much. Stop panicking.
Exactly. Well, when you text, like, this is easy. I can see your face and I know what you mean. But when it's text, you just never know, Like, how is this person, what's going on in their heads? How do they feel right now? Like, yeah. So I'm just making sure.
Yeah, like I'm not paranoid, but I'm also not like, come at me, bro, trying to fight your mom. I'm somewhere in the middle.
My mom didn't even follow you because of that comment. She just followed you because you're cool.
It was, the timing was really funny.
I know. The timing can be good.
It just made me think of British humor, and I just thought that's so funny to me. And I just thought it would make you laugh. So, I don't think people realize like we're super close, like off air. So we joke with each other about that kind of shit, and then you always think I'm paranoid all the time. That
It kind of just makes it even funnier, doesn't it? When it's just
it does.
random little bits online, like, huh, what's going on?
Right. So, I'm sure people get it now that, we talk all the time. And not just work together, but, fucking we've developed quite a bond, and, so I think the work will be better for it.
Yeah, of course.
But it's just been so cool to kind of have that bond with somebody outside of work as well. Not just, doing movies and shit. And, you know what I mean? Because I was talking to Harley Wallen, who's like fucking got, like I said, 62 movie acting credits alone. And then he's got writer, director, fucking credits, and all sorts of crazy shit, and multiple awards. The guy's a fucking legend. He knows his shit. He knows what he's doing. And he always, he told me on the show, he's like, the camera always knows. The camera fucking misses nothing. If you don't believe what you're doing, it will certainly show. So that's why I was really excited to hear that, because I was like, you and I, dude, like, we just mesh. So no matter what we have to do on camera, it's gonna be real and legit and believable, because we believe it, we feel it, so I think that's really cool. So it's nice to have that. It's peace of mind, really. And it's just gives you a lot of comfort working with somebody that you have a bond with, because there's that patience there and there's that trust there. It might take us a few takes to get something right, but at least, we're comfortable with each other that we'll figure it out. We're patient with each other. We'll figure it out eventually, or we're able to come to each other and be like, why don't we do it this way? Why don't we try this? Why don't we, what if we were to change this a little bit and play it this way and see how that works? Because that happens a lot in acting. I think one thing that really comes to mind that is an actual perfect example of that really changed everything for a movie was Halloween, the original one in '78. I found out that John Carpenter said he never considered this, but Donald Pleasance was such a veteran that he said at the end, when I look down and see that Myers isn't there anymore, even though I just shot him 6 times and he fell off a balcony, when I look down and he's not there, how do you want me to play that? Do you want me to be worried? Or do you want me to look like I knew that would happen? Like I knew he wasn't going to be there. I knew he's not dead kind of deal. And he's like, I never even considered that. Let's do both and see what looks better. And they went with, I knew it, because he never even considered that as a director. You know what I mean? So you really got to start looking at stuff and being like, there's multiple ways we can do this. As we talked about before off the air as well, there's certain things that we could, the end and everything in between that we could do so many different ways. It's like, how do you want to do it? Or do you want to practice things different and work together on finding the best, what looks best, what seems to work for the story the best, things like that. Right. So I love that we can do that. It's not just a typical day at the office with someone you barely know, and
Right.
you
Yeah.
get in, do what the fuck you're supposed to do and be done with it. It's like you're comfortable with each other enough to be like, hey, do you want to try it this way? Or how about that, or what do you think of this or whatever? I think it works better for anything creative. Getting people's input, stuff like that is super important, I think. So it's always so cool to be able to like pick your brain and kind of find out where you're at and what you want to do with stuff. And see if you have any thoughts on how to play certain things out. And you might come up with something way better than what was originally written, and then it's like, oh, hold up. We could do this. We could do that. What if we play it this way? Because you're so brilliant creatively that I always love to hear your thoughts, right? So I love that, it's just a comfort. It just makes me want to work with you on everything. So
Yeah, well, they say a relaxed mind is a creative mind, and I really do believe that. If you're all hung up and you're inside yourself and you're not relaxed, and how on earth are you going to let creativity flow out of you? So, and laughter and, the banter and everything that we have, that helps unleash that creative stream, I think. And it's a little bit like when I used to be in a band, the music always sounded better if I had a bond with these people. If there wasn't a bond and we didn't really get along, yes, you can still make music together, but does it feel the same? I think the audience will always pick up on that, like the emotions behind it. No matter how you construe it and put it out there, no matter how you package it, I think the audience will always feel the original emotion in there. And I think that's what's so important. That's why it's so important to have the right people to work with.
I agree completely.
It's just better overall for the whole project. As you said, you can bounce ideas off each other much easier if you're comfortable. And
I agree. Yeah, completely. I mean, chemistry is not something you can fake.
No.
So, and I think we have that pretty solid. So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely there.
It's really fun.
We get along great. We're super close. Your mom doesn't want to go upside my head yet, so that's nice. It's a start. So far, so good. When you got the mom's approval, that's usually a good sign, yeah.
Yes, you do have that. Don't you worry.
Right. You never know when a motherfucker might want to end up marrying you in other movies as well. So, you got to maintain that approval level. It's like credit,
As you said, we'll watch them once they're all wrapped up, and then it's just a continuation of the story.
Right. How do you feel about that? Do you watch back your own work or listen back to your own stuff?
Well, I obviously listen to my own stuff because I produce it myself. So I have to listen to it forever in the day. But once it's out there, it's very rare that I listen to it. The only thing that I can kind of stomach is Realm of the Unicorns because my voice isn't on it so much. Because it's, it's not like I'm not used to listening to my own voice. It's just weird to listen to your own music in that sense, if you know what I mean. So no, I don't. I also can't read my own interviews, that I've had in magazines. I just can't bring myself to do it. I gave my friend Jim, who has a bookshop, Labyrinth bookshop in Glastonbury, my copy of Fame magazine with my interview in it, and he said, "Oh, you made some excellent points here and there." And I was like, "Oh, did I? I can't remember because it's some time ago." And he's like, "Did you not read it?" I said, "No, I just can't. It's too cringy for me." So, but I think I will want to watch the movie. It'd be fun.
We are the same in that regard. I don't look back at all the interviews I've done, all the publications. I lose track of them. Fucking radio interviews, shit like that. I don't listen to none of it. Even the documentary, I did not watch it once it was done. You probably know about that because you said you watched the show that I was on as a guest with the two cats, the friends of mine that are in the movie now, and you'll be on their show. So you saw that show, and they asked me about the documentary, and I was like, honestly, I hate it. I said, I haven't watched it because I am so hands-on that the editing process, I wanted to watch that and see how it's done. And then I had to see the same shit so many times over and over again. By the time the fucking documentary wrapped, I was like, I don't ever want to fucking see it. It's stupid. I hate it. I'm so sick of it that I don't even know. Everyone's like, oh, it's so good. I'm like, cool, thanks. I'll take your word for it. I don't fucking care. I'm not going to watch it. I have it and I don't care. I will not put the DVD in because I'm like, I don't give a shit. Once I see that quality assurance was done, I don't fucking care. I'm going to have to watch it if I ever do after a long time, with fresh eyes and fucking completely forgot about it. so it's new
Yeah.
again. You know what I mean? Because I'm just so tired of seeing the same old shit. So it's funny like that. I'm very critical of myself.
Oh,
So
everyone is though.
everything I do, I hate it. Even if other people are like, dude, this is the greatest thing. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then I feel a little better about it, and then I move on. But like, I don't pay attention to it. I don't go back and like watch it or whatever. So there's that. I mean, I don't listen to my own fucking show. Shit like that. Like, I don't know why people do. Once I know that quality assurance was done and it's edited and everything's great, I don't fucking need to hear it. I had the conversation. Let's move on. Like, I don't need to listen to it again. In some cases, maybe exceptions. Like if I want to hear your fucking accent again, I'm like, yeah, I'll go listen to that show. But certainly not for my own damn purposes, not for myself. Why? Imagine being so like egotistical that you want to listen to yourself talk.
Oh no. Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, the funny thing is I'm used to recording my own voice when it comes to vocals and singing. I have no problem listening back to that. And I kind of disassociate. I don't think it's me. I just listen to it for what it is, for a piece of audio that needs editing, if that makes sense. Has it got the right emotions in it? Is it sung in a way that I want it to sound, and that kind of thing. But if I record myself speaking, I still get this weird feeling like, wow, do I really sound like this? I know what I sound like when I'm singing, but do I sound like this when I'm speaking? It's just still awkward.
It is funny how, like, because I get that weird fucking attention on my voice for some reason. I'm more like not wanting to hear myself now because it weirds me out. So,
You think you might fall in love with your own voice now that you know what people love about it so much?
No, it's actually like we talked about before, me being spiteful, and I feel that people are like bandwagoners, like, oh yeah, everyone else said that, so I love your voice too. And I'm like, well, now it fucking sucks and I hate it because everyone else feels differently. Now I have to dislike it.
You've got a great voice.
Yeah, you're sweet.
Pretty cool.
You're a sweetheart for being so kind. I never got it. I never understood it. But I don't know. I hear it all the fucking time because I never shut up. So, so maybe I just don't care. But
well, we also hear our voices differently, obviously, because of the resonation in our skulls. So I think that's what's always weirding us out when we record ourselves, and then you think, no, I don't sound like that. I thought I sound lower in pitch. It's weird to think about that we never really truly hear ourselves the way we actually sound. And when you look into a mirror, you also never really see yourself the way you actually look. So it's all a bit weird. Like, the more you think about it, it's a bit bizarre.
I still love our conversation about when a fan, and it's happened multiple times now, when a fan unknowingly invited me to like my own fucking Facebook page. And me being the troll that I am, like, no thanks, that guy's a fucking punk. And he's like, you're just bitter because he's famous and you're not. I'm like, oh, where?
I think it's so sweet that they had your back, though. That is amazing.
But I was like, shit, I'm famous and I'm not. Fuck. Figure that one out.
How did you do that? That's quite an achievement.
It's multifaceted, bro. You can be famous and fucking completely obscure and irrelevant at the same time. Isn't that nice to know?
So crazy.
He's successful and you're not. Oh, for real? All right, that's cool. Fuck me, I guess. So
you said it was, with a different profile or something, right?
Yeah, it's my personal profile. So like my fucking,
But I can tell that's you. It's not just the name. I mean, your face, your photo. I can tell it's you. So, what?
It was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely unique. So I don't get it, but it was really funny. And yeah, so I was told I'm just bitter.
Yeah, stop being so bitter all the time.
I know. I'm so jealous of myself,
I
apparently.
know.
Fuck.
You gotta learn to accept and love yourself and stop being bitter about it at the same time.
You know what you know, honestly, what it is I don't have a hooker hoodie, and I'm so upset by it that I'm just mad at the world.
I know, I think that's what it is. You're right. Slowly coming to slowly getting to the ground of this whole thing. It's a root cause. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna design it now?
You know, I have to. I honestly just need to create like a random hoodie that just says "Your mom's a hoe." Just-
But you should have like some cute animal say it.
How mad could people be then?
Exactly. And also people look at it and go, oh, look at cute, there's a little kitten, and then it's got a speech bubble that says something really graphic.
I actually, oh my god, shout out to my ex, to Madden's mom, wherever she's at. God love her. She used to entertain the fuck out of me with on her laptop. She started to find these like backgrounds that it was you know, it would look so innocent. There'd be like scenery, like mountains or some shit. Like one was just a hill, but if you look close enough in the fucking like greenery, some of it was a little longer than the other, so it just said cunt. Or you know, there was one that was a puppy and just a cute looking dog, but in really small writing, you like trying to read what it says. It says, "You're a sad sack of shit." So it's just all these like terribly fucking, they look like nothing on the surface, but when you pay attention to it, they're just like so demotivational backgrounds. They were wonderful. I fucking laughed every time.
I love that.
It made me laugh.
Contrast.
I love that you have my humor too. Like what I told you about playing Red Dead Redemption, and the dude's fucking horse and carriage got robbed, and these fuckers like hijacked it, took his horses, and fucked off. And he's standing there just watching them leave with his horses, and his fucking carriage is just sitting there on the ground with nothing pulling it anymore. And he's got his head down like he looks so heartbroken. She's like, "Oh my god, he looks so dejected. Like, that poor guy, he's so depressed." And then all I hear is bang. She's like, "What did you do?" I was like, "I just cheered him up." He ain't fucking sad no more.
Well, you know, the afterlife surely must be better. That's how I see it.
I'm just doing my part, you know?
Yeah, you're helping him.
Right.
Poor
That's how I
pixel
feel.
person. Pixel people need love too.
I shot him right in the fucking face. I did it with love. So
Put him out of his misery.
there you go. See? Glass half full yet again.
Yeah.
I know you didn't touch that. I said find the optimism on that crazy chick that fucking, you know, you had nothing on that, but we'll let that one slide. I don't know how you're going to find it.
I did actually. I said, you know, it's good because it gave you fuel.
Oh, that is true. You
Movie.
did say that. That is true. You're just always turning the fucking frown upside down, ain't you? You're
But
wonderful.
someone's got to.
I know. You're wonderful like that. God damn. This is why we're going to be married in every goddamn movie, because I'm a bitter fuck that's even bitter towards myself. So I need someone to balance me. That's always up. You know? So I
can't help it.
I can be salty all the time. So, you know, you can be the counterbalance. Like, that's all right. I'll be optimistic for both of us.
It's so funny. You think I'm such an optimist. I don't really see myself that way. Like I go through phases too, but I don't know. And like I said, the lockdown has really taught me something. You really have to focus on what you want and put energy and intention to that, and not what you don't want. And I used to get so wrapped up in my head about things, usually it was emotional pain that I can't handle very well. And I don't know, I found some sort of weird way to, like, it's hard to describe. It's like an internal door, and you just open it and you just go, actually, I've had enough of this now. I'm going to do my best, and I'm just going to focus on what's good around me, and I'm going to use that as fuel, and I'm going to put more good out there. And then it's just like things start to align. It sounds mad, but it does. It just works. So I'm trying to get into the habit of always trying to see something good in a bad situation, because ultimately that's what's going to pull you through. If you're focusing on the dark all the time, and I used to do that. I was a mopey goth for so many years. Not that all goths are mopey, I know they're not, but I was one of them, and it wasn't healthy. So it's good to polarize somehow, like, all your different elements, because we've all got them, right?
I absolutely love that about you. And then there's me, who's like Captain Bring Down. So it's a balance thing, because you're all like you're like glasses half full, and I'm like this glass is a piece of shit.
No, you make me laugh all the time. That's not true at all. You're hilarious. What's going on with my light? I look really orange.
We do laugh a lot. Yeah. We're back to the orange issue again that you were having earlier. Oh my God. Yeah, we do laugh all the time. I can't bullshit. We definitely are always laughing at each other. How many times has it been now that I made you spit your water all over the fucking place?
Twice.
Wow. I'm slipping. I need to fucking get on that.
I'm used to it now. I know when to anticipate it.
My God. It's always so much fun having you on. We definitely got to do it again. But
I can't wait.
I still want to talk to you off air, but I figure we've probably driven people up a fucking wall at this point. I figure we wrap this bitch up, but we definitely talk off air about this fucking glass issue.
Well, I'll apologize again for being mental and caffeinated. I can't even speak anymore. Thank you for having me back. I love it every time.
It's always a blast. I love you. You know this. You know you're always welcome back. You know I love you.
No, I love you too.
So we're gonna have to do this again. But in the meantime, I'm gonna harass you off there. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you.
All right, y'all. So that was the beautiful and talented Mira Morningstar returning once again to put up with me. Like, she doesn't work with me enough as it is. Or she will be anyway. Always a pleasure talking to her. She's wonderful. As you may have been able to tell, our chemistry is ridiculous. And sometimes we just get into laughing fits. She was all wound up on caffeine. I was wound up on Monster. So, it's going to happen sometimes. And we just get weird when we talk to each other, so it probably shows. But I promise you that just means the chemistry on set in the upcoming movie is going to be really cool. And probably very visible there as well. And I look forward to it. She's always a pleasure to have around. Just an absolute sweetheart. And I don't know about you, but I can't get enough of listening to that accent. I could listen to that all damn day, every day. So I love British accents, bro. they're just awesome. I don't know about you guys, but you know, I just love British accents. They're so fucking awesome to me. They just sound so classy, don't they? They're just so charming and kind of soothing in a way. So there's something to dig about it. So anyways, I hope you dug it. I hope you had a blast. And shout out to Mira. Her birthday is not far off. August 10th, I believe, is, way later than she opened her present from me. But I sent it way early, and it got there really early. So if you check her out on Instagram, you'll see the epic fucking design day that I had, creating a fucking unique and very custom Tattness Co. shirt that happened to give a nod to Masters of the Universe with Orko on it from He-Man. So that was fun to do. I had so much fun. That was an epic day at the office making that, and then she got it really early. So check it out on Instagram, man. Check her out. Check me out on Instagram. Thank you all, by the way, for checking out IMDb, checking me out more specifically. My number has skyrocketed, and my star meter's fucking killing it. So thank you guys so much having me trending on IMDb, checking out my work. I appreciate y'all. I will catch your asses later.